Okay, let's get this Studebaker up here. Come on, guys, get these Studebakers up. Keep coming, keep coming. That's good right there. Stop right there. Where's your window card? Now we got it. We got a 1953 Studebaker Starlight Coupe. This is Conrad Zumhagen from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I know you've been here before a few times. How long have you owned this car? How long? 3 years, so this is relatively new to your collection. Tell us about this car.
So Studebaker had celebrated its 100th anniversary as a vehicle producer in 1952. Obviously those earlier vehicles were not automobiles, they were wagons. They were the country's largest producer of wagons up through the demise of that particular form of transportation. For 1953 they introduced a brand new car. Actually they introduced 2 cars that year, although not understood as such. They had the coupes, which are shown here, the coupes and hardtops on a 120-inch wheelbase, a very low cowl, a very rakish profile. The car was done by Raymond Loewy and his associates. Extremely well received, but unfortunately not the best initial design quality. And in fact, when they went to produce the coupes, they wouldn't go together on the assembly line because the front sheet metal plus the flexible frame led to production problems. The second car they introduced were the normal sedans, which had a higher cowl, higher seating position, and they had so much complexity in the assembly line that they were really constrained in production for the 1953 model year.
Right there is good. This is a 1961 Studebaker Hawk. Tom Delisle from Dundee. Tom, I know you've been here any number of different times. How long have you owned this car? 95 is when you bought it, so you've owned it for 32 years? I went to Catholic school. You can't fool me on math. So, tell us about this car.
So the 53 Coupe that we just saw migrated to a separate Hawk series starting in 1956, and they had 4 flavors of the Hawk in 1956. 1957 they had 2 flavors, went down to 1 flavor in 1959. By 1961 they were actually considering dropping the vehicle, but they decided to continue it. This was the last finned Hawk. In 1962 they went to the Gran Turismo Hawk designed by Brooks Stevens and eliminated the fins, made it a hardtop only, and did a lot of other minor interior and exterior changes. The 61s are notable for the unique color band on the rear fender. None of the other Hawks had that narrow color band on the rear fenders. It was also the first year for a 4-speed transmission, so Studebaker was launching their performance image with such features as this, and it was a nice end to the generation of finned Hawks that started in 1957.
Well, the judges thought that your car was outstanding, so give this man a round of applause for winning the Studebaker class. You can pull her ahead for me, sir. Okay, now stop right there. This is an 84 Studebaker Avanti. This was really kind of a after Studebaker. But at any rate, Warren Goodloe, again, another one of his cars, and of course he's from Livonia. Instead of reading what he has on his windshield, I'm going to let the fellas tell you folks in the bleachers about this car.
So the Avanti was designed in 1961, again by Raymond Loewy and Associates, as a performance vehicle and image builder for Studebaker. It was targeted to come out in 1962 model year, but they had production problems and a host of other issues that led to a delay to 1963. It was offered in 63 and 64 by Studebaker, but when Studebaker closed down South Bend and moved to Canada, they dropped the Avanti. A couple of dealers in South Bend decided to resurrect it for 1966 as the Avanti 2 and sold about 100-150 cars a year up to about 1982. 1982, Stephen Blake, a Washington real estate mogul, bought the company and decided to update the cars a bit. As you can see here, this was the product that is updating upwards. He added urethane front and rear bumpers, a much more modern interior, finally had seats with reclining features, full leather interior, still used the GM powertrains that they had adopted in 1966. And this car has some of the features of the touring version option with blackout features around the car. You could get it in full blackout features. You could also get it in bright work with color bands within the bumpers. It was one of the last versions that still had the Studebaker chassis under it.